well met, weary travellers, and welcome back to the fireside. Find yourself a mug of ale and pull up a stool because it's time for another chapter of Polyhedron Collider Plays D&D. Tonight we have the Masters of Fate, and they are Andy Lewis as Arrakis the Sorcerer, Sid Gill, when he gets back from fiddling around with things, as El Cockwind the Rogue, Derek Neal as Imnek the Warlock, Adam Moran as Sylfina the Druid, and last but certainly not least, our malevolent DM Steve. So Steve, if you'd like to step once again to the torchlight and resume our story, we shall continue.
So, in the last session, you cleared out an old dwarven fort in the middle of the Spine of the World Mountains that was being inhabited by like a joined forces clan of orcs, ogres, and hill giants. You basically went through the entire place, killing everything. You could see, apart from Pappy Gutterunch, the ogre warlock, who Arrakis convinced that he was a messenger from his demon lord, and told him to go on his merry way further up to the Sea of Moving Ice. From there, Arrakis stripped the place clean, acid stripped the entire place, and found he had that much cash in his hands he couldn't carry it out. So fashioned a sled.
You mean Cockwind, not me.
Cockwind, sorry. So Cockwind then fashioned a sled, and you carted all the treasure along with the half-orc Droja back to Zephyros Floating Tower. You had some questions to ask of Zephyros, which he helped as much as he could. But you decided to head to the city of Mirabar, which is the nearest big city, which is just on the southern edge of the Spine of the World Mountains. We left at the point where Zephyros had told you that he wasn't actually going to go into the city because, a floating cloud castle arouses some suspicion. So he's dropped you off some miles outside Mirabar and allowed you to make your own way into town.
Good of him. Did we not get into town, or did we not really get?
I think
I can't remember.
we kind of stopped just before you kind of headed into town, I think.
Right.
Because Imnek had some questions to ask.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah. Also, as I mentioned, I was going to cast the simulacrum spell from the shard, because I think while we have time, I might as well do it now.
Yeah, that's kind of a downtime activity, really, isn't it?
Yes. Because there is, strictly speaking, no limit to the number of simulacrums you can make with the spell itself. I'm going to ask, is there a limit to the shards one?
Yes, the shard can make one.
Yeah, I thought so. I'd get silly otherwise.
Yes. So basically, there are two Imneks now.
Yes. And in just in case there are any Farscape fans out there, I'm going to call the other one Harvey. So I'm assuming there's no Farscape fans on stream then. Never mind.
I've heard of it.
It's been donkey's years since I watched it, so I couldn't remember the names. Was Harvey the one inside his head?
Yes.
Right.
There we go.
There we go.
Scorpio or Scorpius?
Scorpius.
Scorpius, that was it. I used to love that show, but it's been donkey's years since I've seen it.
Yeah. Yes. So I will, once I've welcomed him into the world, I will equip him with the hide armor and battle axe.
So yeah, he's basically a version of you made out of ice.
Yep.
Which you can control, and it basically acts like as if it's you as well. So you can have a conversation with yourself if you want.
Yeah. Fascinating, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Arrakis is just going to roll his eyes.
This is for simplicity's sake as much as anything else. I would have happily made a nice creature if there had been one I could copy. Okay. Yes. So that was something I did as well. But before we descend from the castle, we'll however gather everyone together, and he will say to them all, I'm afraid I think I have some bad news. I had another vision last night. It was. I do not believe it was simply a vision of things that could be or anything like that. I think it was something that happened. I could see a ship upon the open sea with a storm coming. There was a human, I believe he was a human, and also Ertu. They seemed to be in alliance with one another. And it would appear, I think, at this point that the human was the one was holding the black shard of enchantment that we found out to be in Waterdeep. And he seems to have given it back to Ertu. So I suspect Ertu now has one of the shards.
That is problematic.
Yes. Tell me, Arrakis, I am aware that you have made many enemies over the years, but can you think of one in particular with a scarred face and a preponderance for well-made and expensive black clothing who may have a particular burning desire to get hold of your body to take out his anger on?
Well, I know a few women who'd like to get hold of my body, but that reminds me, I've not seen McCarth for a while. I wonder how she's doing. Well, the only man I can think of who I owe money to is a chap called Thorius Grimwald, but he's just a pub owner. I can't imagine he'll be in league with a demon.
No, and I wouldn't imagine he has expensive clothing, nor is he the one behind the Modron invasion. Now, I was not with you. I went into the plane following my vision quest. I fought the Modrons with the champions of chance. They were become. Now, I do recall, as we were making our escape from that place, off in the distance, I thought I saw a man and a woman in dark clothing standing watching as we left. And I wonder if that man that I saw is the same who had this crystal shard, which presumably he used to help orchestrate this invasion from that plane with the Modrons.
Potentially. I wonder if it's Pelador.
Who is Pelador?
Wasn't he the one that dug up the shard in the first place?
Perhaps. Question to the DM: Have we actually met Pelador?
No, you haven't.
And was this person in my vision a young man?
Yes, he was.
Perhaps not. I wonder if it's that chap that was looking for the ice ring thing. The let's have a look. What's it called? God damn it. Sirach's father.
Yes.
Kessel, is it? Sorry, no.
Yes, who was it? Sirach. Yes. Artus Simba.
That's the chap. Artus Simba. It possibly was him. We have a few questions.
I do have a question for you, however. The thought suddenly strikes me. You have talked before, I think, about while I and the others were on the plane fighting the Modrons, you were elsewhere fighting in some noble's house or such. Why were you there? Was there any connection between the two? Or was this you had business there?
We were at the party.
The sexy party.
The sexy party. Yes, Cockwind was there as well, as was what's his name?
The Paladin?
The Paladin. I should know his name. Not Verl. Someone else.
Don't worry, no one in his own party gets his name right, so.
Oh, always going to see this and hate me forever.
It was Havar.
Haval, that's his name. Yes, Haval was there, making mischief. He was a little too blunt for such a thing. Why were we at that party? It's a good question. I honestly can't remember. It's been weeks.
We were shopping.
We were shopping.
Oh, yeah, nobles, lots of things to pick up, and
You may have been on the acquisition, yes. Some of us were. They were connected to the. There was a poisoning in the district, and it turns out there was a small conspiracy. The young chap, the son, was involved in a conspiracy to poison and enslave and ultimately become undead. He was working with a necromancer. He was. The necromancer was dispatched rather handily, I might add.
Excellent.
And if I remember rightly, the son is probably still at large and holds a certain grudge.
Does he have scars, or perhaps did you give him some scars?
I can't imagine he was in much of a good shape when we left him because he jumped out of a window in a lot of pain.
What was the source of his pain?
We beat the crap out of him. I must admit it was mostly me and the paladin, Haval. Was he scarred? I honestly can't tell you. What was his bloody name? I haven't got it written down. Yep, Trust was early on. That was the chap right at the start. I think it's only Blood Soldiers. Gar? No. Davakil. Bran, Ander, or Mara. So Mara was the daughter. Bran was the younger son. Ander was the older one, if I remember rightly. Was it Bran?
I just wonder if there is a connection, or it might be coincidence, but clearly he has a very deep grudge against you personally, Arrakis.
Join the queue.
Yes, but most of them, I suspect, would not engineer a Modron invasion and side with a demon.
No, indeed, they may be rich and control certain parts of Waterdeep, but no, whether they have powers beyond our own, I would be very, very surprised. Now, they may be able to liaise with such individuals, but as to whether they hold the power themselves, I very much doubt it.
So it is a concerning development, as I believe that with a true vision, not a...
Well, yes, indeed. That said, we did run into a Lord Zeldrin Roaringhorn, who I did get on with rather well. He has a golem, so he has magical power, or at least access to some.
Interesting. But yes, I felt it was important to share this as we learn more about this shard.
Was it Vaelish Gant?
No, I would have recognized him, I'm sure.
I agree.
That reminds me, there was also some connection I heard regarding the giants, but I think it may have been
giants. Well, yes. We did encounter those giants with Sirac and Artus, did we not?
But I wonder if it's that the giants and Urtu are not in league. They certainly seem to perhaps be coincidental, but I believe the human has some connection to it. Yes, I recall now. So think back.
She reads the DM whisper.
Yes, the human requested that Urtu not hinder the giants. Whether that means that either one of them is involved with the giants, but certainly the human at least seems to have some interest in this thing with the Storm King and the trouble with the giants.
But that also suggests that Urtu does not.
Yes.
Or at least has his own interests. And it would not surprise me if Urtu was engineering the whole thing in the background. If he's engineering the giant war, I wouldn't be surprised if he kicked the dragons quite hard very soon either.
Yes, but I think that suggests that, well, firstly, the human has something on Urtu to be able to make such a request, to make him alter his plans, perhaps, or at least shape them in a way that is to his benefit. But also, yes, as you say, suggests that Ertu is perhaps not really related to him, is a separate, but still, as we know, significant threat.
Or more likely, the human has something Ertu desires.
Perhaps. You understand.
And they have entered a mutually beneficial arrangement, which sounds more like Ertu's modus operandi. He doesn't do anything without a reason.
You understand the abyss better than I, so that sounds yes.
He's a schemer and a manipulator. Don't take anything at face value.
Indeed not. But
are you sure this human was not one of your ancestors? You mentioned one of the liches in your vision was obscured and black. Could it be this individual?
I believe I was referring to the symbols of the schools of magic, which we know one of each shard represents a school of magic. And one of them was in shadow, and that we found out to mean it was in the Shadowfell itself. So as for these liches, as you call them, he certainly did not look like a lich.
They are rather obvious.
Yes, I suspect he is another agency of these liches. I don't know. I don't know what happened to them.
Well, I'm sure we'll probably find out soon enough.
Perhaps we should keep an eye and an ear out for who they are and what their interests may have been. Thinking about it. But yes, so it's certainly something has happened, and Ertu appears to have his hand on one of the shards, which makes it more difficult for us.
And yet somewhat more entertaining when we defeat him and take it from his hand.
Indeed.
I must admit, I will relish that moment.
Yes, but I think we need to retrieve the shard from the ruins of Skyreach Castle for sure as soon as we
can. Yes, we'll get the easy ones first. I don't fancy taking on a Barlow in our current condition. I think we need a little more worldly experience.
Indeed. And as a note to you, Steve, I think from now on, unless I sort of specify otherwise, assume that Imnek is going to uses once per day non-detection to cast either on himself or on the crystal shard itself, depending whether casting it on me would also shield the shard.
Okay, what's the length of that? How long does it last?
It's 8 hours, so it would cover me for a long rest, but when I'm not moving, essentially. But,
so are you saying that if you don't say otherwise, assume you've done it before you do a long rest, yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Just so that when we're in stationary in one place and not necessarily aware, then at least we're just in case, just on the off chance.
Okay.
Ertu can
an ambush.
Yes.
It doesn't sound like his style, but it's a good idea. To minimise our vulnerabilities.
He does not have the divination shard, at least we hold that. But that does not necessarily mean that he might not be able to sense the shards himself. I do not know. As I say, we are still not entirely sure of his connection to this thing, and we must assume with his at least involvement to whatever degree that in making the shards that he perhaps has access to some powers with them that we do not.
Almost certainly. Well, maybe there's somebody in Mirabar who can help us.
Perhaps. Yes. So, shall we head there now?
Indeed.
Okay.
Yes, I need some new clothes.
Okay. So, Zephyros lowers the cloud staircase down from the castle, and basically says he's going to stay some point kind of northwest of Mirabar.
Okay.
he'll keep an eye out for you, but kind of like he'll raise the steps. He informs you he's going to raise the steps after you've gone, and then just go a little bit further out, kind of thing. But he'll keep an eye out for your return. However, he says don't spend too long because he has other business he needs to attend to, without saying what that business is.
Mm-hmm.
The half-orc Droja is still with you. She decides that she should come with you into Mirabar, hoping that she can find something. She's very extremely pleased that she's been taken away from the orcs, and thinks that she might be able to find some kind of gainful employment in Mirabar, or at least a step up, so that she's not wandering the spine of the world.
Yes.
So you head off into the city of Mirabar, and
Looks quite large.
the grandeur of it hits you almost straight away, because you head up to like the main road. So you're on the Blackford Road, which is the road which heads between Luskan and Mirabar. And of course, you're getting close to the city. You get the usual increase in traffic of farmers bringing food in and trading coming in and out. So you get into like a busy road coming in. But it strikes you straight away. It's kind of raised up, this city is, and there's these gigantic sloped dwarf built walls surrounding the city. You know, these walls themselves look like they could take up an entire city block in Waterdeep. They're that tall, thick. And you can even see from here, you can just see troops milling around on the top of this place.
Rather well protected from giants.
Well protected from everything, I think. So yeah, you are led in, or you lead into these massive cobbled streets, and it's it is a buzz. It's the most civilization you've probably seen in around about 4 or 5, 10 days since leaving Waterdeep, and it strikes you straight away getting in there that it feels different to Waterdeep. Waterdeep feels kind of like cosmopolitan and vibrant, but it just feels like it's a bit of a mishmash of everything. This is very much kind of like dwarven architecture with the odd thing here and there, but it strikes you straight away just how wealthy this place is. All the streets are clean. There are guards everywhere. The axes, as people nickname them. And everywhere seems like well laid out and well set out. But one thing is quite bizarre. You all know this is the famous dwarven city, but you see hardly any dwarves.
Are the guards at least dwarven?
Most of the guard, you see the odd dwarven guard, and judging by the way they talk and their insignia, they seem to be like captains, but most of the bog standard guards are humans, or elves, or halflings, or gnomes.
One wonders if they've succumbed to the black ice.
So curious.
Anyway, this is my kind of town. Arrakis feels instantly better. Being back in some kind of civilization rather than the arsehole of nowhere.
So,
don't you think some kind of map for the city? Because I'm seeing a bunch of hexes. I have blank on the screen.
no, we haven't at the moment. No, we've just got the world map at the moment.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, you should be able to see the world map. Yeah, you should be able to see Spine the World and Mirabar and Arrakis' smiling face on the circle of Mirabar.
Yes. Well, what time of day is it?
It's going to be early morning.
Ah, excellent.
Because you'll have had a chance to rest in
The castle.
in the castle and tower beforehand. So
Oh. Back up. Ah, spot of brunch. I shall try and find a cosmopolitan cafe of some description.
I'm going to be a bit laden down, so I need to go and hawk some gear ASAP.
okay, we'll do Sid first. Because Sid's like waylaid with all this cash that he's getting bare coins. It doesn't take you long to find what is it exactly you were looking for? Are you looking for a bank or some kind of conversion house or what?
I basically want to take all the small change plus all the other random crap that I'm carrying and convert it into something that's easier to cart around.
Ingots.
Okay,
So,
so
ingots or platinum or something, yeah.
so you ask around. It doesn't take you long for everyone to suggest you go see one of the trade houses, because there's a massive amount of trade coming in and out. Of course, you see the carts coming out laden with all kinds of ore and steel and things like that, and you're quickly directed to kind of a trade office where you can see people are logging ledgers and counting money and such like. And you're shuffled along to a very officious-looking gnome sitting behind his counting desk with just books, ledgers, like a massive ledger in front of him of counting and a big abacus to his side, and wants to know what he can do for you.
Right. Well, my gnomish friend, I would like to cash in my inheritance.
Very good, sir.
And I would like to make it more portable.
Ah, of course. How would sir like to convert this monies?
Sir, I would like to convert it into something of equal value, but much smaller and easier to carry. What services can you offer me, Mr. Gnome?
Well, since you're in the city of Mirabar, sir, I can offer you the Mirabar Trade Bar.
Oh, yeah, this sounds useful. I can use this around the realm, can I?
You might find the exchange rate in some of the southern cities might not be as good, but wherever you'll find dwarves trading, they'll accept a Mirabar trading bar, sir. It's a small bar of gold, certified under the Banks of Mirabar, and it is guaranteed by the dwarven banks themselves to be worth the price, as it says. Although, if you are travelling far and wide and believe you're not doing trade in the city, then you might wish to convert it into gemstones or platinum pieces or such like.
Am I with him at this point?
Do you want to be with him or not?
I suppose we can sort of traipse around with him, yes. Well, in search of a cinnamon latte.
With a half twist of lime.
That's it, yeah. Can I, excuse me, my good man, may I inspect this trinket? And just pick up the bar. I've no intention of stealing it, but
there's loads of them. He's got he opens a drawer and there's stacks of them.
Go on, sorry.
It's a gold bar stamped with the Axe of Mirabar logo.
Short, I mean, given my time in Waterdeep, is this something I'll have recognised?
Waterdeep, is it's worth its face value. There's enough dwarfs there that it's usable, and you also know that these things are valuable in most of the big cities. So Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter, Waterdeep.
Sure. I think you'll be fine with those, Cockwind. I've seen these before.
They look much lighter, and as my good friend has given you the seal of approval, as they say, I shall cash in my sled.
I say, and so there will be unfortunately a 5% transferal fee. I hope that's not an issue.
5%?
5%. That seems steep, my dwarven friend.
That's a bit cheeky.
5%. Now, come on.
Come now, I understand there is always a small handling fee.
Well, of course,
5% is come now.
I'm sorry, sir.
What if we were to make it worth your while?
What do you mean?
Perhaps if you were to waive the 5%, we could offer you 2% to you personally.
Are you trying to bribe an officer of Mirabar, sir?
No, that is not what I am trying to do. I am trying to merely make a trading transaction whereby you waive the fee. After we have completed our transaction, we will offer you a gift for the helpful way in which you have handled our transaction.
I couldn't possibly.
I'm sure you could.
No, I'm sorry. There's a bit of a queue forming behind you for this kind of desk, and you hear a voice at the back just go, "Will you hurry up?"
I'll turn around and glare at him and mutter a spell under my breath, which just causes me to levitate slightly, get the fire around my head.
To which this person who's going to hurry up goes, "Arrakis?"
Uh-oh.
To which the person shouting at the back is Helder Silverstream.
Oh,
bloody hell.
Good grief, my dear.
Dwarven trader you met in Bryn Shander.
Well, it is a small world. How are you, my dear? I'll make my way away from the desk so as A, to go and meet the lady, and B, not to get caught up in some bribing exercise that may attract law. Cockwind, you're on your own.
Are you causing bother with this here merchant?
Actually, I'm trying to smooth things over. It's Cockwind that's causing the bloody trouble.
Oh, are they charging him outsiders' rates?
It would appear so, yes.
She barges away to the front, much to the consternation of everyone else in the queue, and slaps down this like badge on the thing. There you go, authorized Mirabar trader. He gets the 2% rate, doesn't he?
I'll just look at her and smile graciously.
To which the gnome goes, very well, Miss Silverstream. Okay. Yes, very well. We can transfer that for the 2% fee. My apologies for the delays.
Marvelous.
Next time, listen to the red man. Thank you, my dear. Much appreciated. I owe you a drink.
Right.
Fantastic. No, well, we just wait for me to finish this here business here once we've tidied up the queue a bit.
But of
He's
course.
counted out bars. Bloody hell, how many bars have you got?
We did well.
It was,
Well,
quite an inheritance.
Indeed, inheritance, indeed. There's a tavern just on the corner. If we go there, how's that sound?
Aye, let's make sure this here gnome is not on the take.
Oh no, don't worry, he wouldn't
He's just
dare.
refused to bribe. He's not going to rob you. Fucking hell.
He foolishly turned out a direct gift. You could have made some money out of that.
The chunnering under his breath, the gnome stacks up these the Mirabar trade bars and hands you your.
Unfortunately, Sid, in this world, not everyone is chaotic.
So, the question I have is this like a postal order, or is this more like a banknote which I can break into smaller denominations?
So what it is, it's a series of gold bars.
Right. Okay.
So gold bars that are stamped with
Right,
basically the Mirabar, like authority of Mirabar trading on them.
So they're like a £50 note.
Like a £50 note would be the best way of putting it.
Scottish ton, mate. It's a Scottish ton.
Scottish
That's what
ton.
it is. No fucker will take one.
So can I just confirm how much I've just offloaded with this guy? Because I summed it up last week afterwards, and I came up with, because I've got a load of other crap that I'm carting around, which I just want to offload the lot: gems, necklaces, bags of loot, rings, the whole shooting match, right?
Yeah.
And I think you gave me some. I've used the gold piece values you've given me, and I came up with a number of where is it? 442 platinum and 5 gold. Does that sound about right?
You're going to say 442 grand then? Jesus Christ! We can buy
That
Neverwinter
sounds
with
right.
that.
Okay, so I'll assume that's what it is, and I'll divvy it up amongst the boys.
Imnek will actually he will also, if we're doing this, he will put in, I think there's like 600 gold. Can't remember exactly what I picked up myself to help Sid out. Yeah, so I'll put 600 gold into that fee. Although Imnek, because he doesn't understand this strange gold bar business, he will request that is put into 600 gold worth of minus the 2% of gems that can be also distributed with the group as well. But just he feels more comfortable with gemstones than this strange abstract bar concept.
Arrakis is holding on to his 1,200 gold and 25 platinum. I need some flash money.
I've lost all track of money altogether.
Right.
I don't think Sylfina cares about material possessions.
Just mushrooms.
You've got nothing to spend it on anyway, so.
Either way, so 600 gold into how much of
Gemstones
it?
is your choice, basically. Could all have that as one big ruby, several small diamonds.
So
Chip bits off it when you spend it.
well, you can get very small gemstones, or whatever. So it'll be what, 588 gold worth of small gemstones.
Yeah.
I'll write that down. So
I think the smallest gemstone size is 50.
Jesus.
I think. He
uh,
says. Can't not been able to find his DNG.
Let's say yes.
okay. So we'll say I'll say 12 gemstones of 50 gold, and then I'll pay the fee, 12 gold fee out of with gold. It's easier.
That makes sense.
So what are you
Oh,
doing?
no, you can go down to 10 GP is the smallest gem.
Oh, okay.
That's easy.
I'll write it down. I'll work it out. But yeah,
Yeah.
so he's broken down 600 gold into some gems, which he then
Right.
spreads about his body for his pocket.
Okay.
So I'll give everybody 100 platinum, and then we'll so to
Nice.
Andy and Derek and Adam, and
Sweet.
I'll keep the spare. So that leaves me with 142 or something like that worth of whatever these things were called. What are they called? Mirror bar,
Trade bars.
trade bars.
Platinum's 10 gold, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I've got 2.5 grand. It's not bad going. Well, nearly.
Okay. So what are you doing after that then?
Pub.
Up.
Good new. Pub. Well, I owe this young dwarf a drink. Well, I suppose technically Cockwind does, but I'll do the buying.
Okay.
So, you head to the Iron Anvil on the corner of the road. Find yourself a nice table and get some drinks in.
Sweet.
Why is a spyglass cost more than half plate?
Because glass grinding was a particularly complicated process.
Pretty high tech, yeah. So, Sid, how much platinum did you say?
I gave all of you 100
Okay.
because it was easier to do the maths that way.
How much is the round, Sid? Is it just like 5 gold or something?
I guess so, mate.
Did I say Sid then? I meant Steve. But, you
You
know,
did.
whatever. The man in charge. I tell you what I'll do is I'll put 10 gold behind the bar.
Yeah.
Drink it.
And yeah, I'll just say to the barman, let me know when it runs out.
That should last you a while. That should.
Yes,
That'll get your lunch as well,
that's okay. And potentially room for the evening.
and a good tip. Yeah. I've had to actually tag that page in the player's handbook with a little tag that says booze. I've had the prices for booze. Okay, so yes, you head into the Iron Anvil, which for some reason isn't playing the sound from my audio, which is a bit weird. Oh, okay. Find yourself a table, and by the time you've ordered drinks and got some food in, the Hilda heads over, grabs a seat, and grabs a beer as well. So I haven't seen you chaps in a while.
No, indeed, my dear. How have you been keeping?
Ah, not too bad. Mostly since I've left you. I've been travelling though.
Oh.
Well, a long way from Dwarven Valley up in Icewind Dale here.
I suppose
Didn't
it
pass
is.
you on the road though. Which did you come a different way?
You could say that, yes. We encountered how do we say, a rather large chap with a castle on a cloud.
My word.
Indeed. We were as surprised as you are, but turns out he's rather friendly. Nice, a giant wizard of some description. Offered us a
Sounds
lift.
good.
Yes, indeed. He's
So you came right over top of mountains then?
yes.
Blimey. That's impressive. So what brings you to Mirabar then?
Well, I'll just look at Cockwind.
Transaction.
And also the library.
The library, eh?
Mm.
Oh yes, we have an errand to run.
I see. What? No offense, but what makes you think you're going to get into the library?
Well, he's a thief, and I have a particular way of words. And if nothing else works, we've got Imnek and a Druid.
You've never been to
Okay, that
Mirabar
helps.
before, have you?
No,
Have you not noticed something a bit weird?
there's no dwarves.
Yeah.
What happened?
She just points down.
the ground.
Mirabar's two cities.
Um,
The Surface City and the Dwarf City. Now, I know a couple of you are a bit short, but you ain't dwarfs. You ain't getting within a mile of that library.
I don't suppose you could grease the wheels. I mean, we mean no harm.
I can ask. I don't know how well I'll do you, but I can ask.
Mhm.
What is it you're after?
I'll look at Imnek at this point because I think it was Imnek that got the discussion, wasn't it?
Of what the
We need the book for the giant.
of a certain demonic person we're
Oh.
aware of. That was who we were
Yes,
trying to
we're.
research.
Well, I mean, I know some about a specific Barlaw we're hunting, or rather, is hunting us. It would seem, but even my knowledge doesn't extend back that far. So we're looking for books on Barlaws, specifically Urtu.
And how to defeat them if possible.
Now, obviously, I know I'm not as worldly wise as you, but what's a Barlow?
Well, you see how I appear.
Aye.
Imagine me, but about 2 or 3 times taller, 4 times wider, and with wings, and with a much, much meaner disposition.
Nasty fucker, then.
Yes, that's puts it accurately, bluntly, but accurate.
So, what? She just and what you described that thing, but what exactly is it then? What kind of book should I be looking for?
Demon.
Demon.
He's a greater demon.
Right. Are you sure you should be looking for books on demons?
We don't really get a choice.
Well, fair enough. Well, you helped out Uncle Stokely. I think it's only fair that I'll see what I can do. Can't
Thank
make any
you.
promises, though.
Oh, that's quite all right. I mean, if we can even borrow the book and return it, then that's fine. We mean genuinely no harm. It's just an information gathering exercise. Just the individual who can read it can't really enter the town. He'd probably cause a little bit too much fuss.
Perhaps also any histories you might be able to acquire on the I forget what it was called, but the War of the Crystal Shard that happened a century or two ago.
Mm.
That will have certain references to the Barlaw in it as well, I suspect, and perhaps give us some more ideas on some other things we've come across.
If you can find the name Krishinibon, that would be helpful.
So, a book of demons / Baelor / Ertu.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal Shard War. Now I know that. That's from Icewind Dale, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I don't mean to worry you, but I'll see what I can find in the library. But you might be in the wrong dwarven town for that, but we'll see. And then
Which one?
Crinchinibom. Well,
Which town should we be in?
well, not really town. Now, the War of the Crystal Shard. I remember this. I remember being told about this when I was a wee nipper. Now, great uncle Brenner was part of that.
Brenner.
Brenner Battleaxe, aye, Brenner, and he reopened Gortlegrim. Now, since he reopened Gortlegrim, the dwarfs in Mirabar got a bit. Well, let's just say Mirabar's a mining city, and they rely on all the mines that are north of here. Well, Grim reopens, and and Brenner reopens the Mithril mines. All of a sudden, there's competition.
Ah.
Now, Grim may be the place to ask some more information. You might even try getting an audience with Brenner himself, but I don't know. I could put a good word in for you there as well, but it's a bit of a travel down to Grim.
Brenner in Grim.
King
Okay.
Brenner, no less. King Brenner.
King Brenner.
Aye.
Well, we have transport. Getting there is probably not an issue.
Well, he fought in that war,
Wow.
so he'll give you more information than was in any book.
Very well. That sounds like a good lead. Thank you, my dear. Feel free to help yourself to the tab.
She necks the beer and goes, "Don't mind if I do."
Another dry white wine and a Perrier over here, please.
Chinzano and Coke.
Imnek's drinking whatever the dwarf is drinking.
So she necks another beer and says, "Well, I've got business to do in city below, so I will find out what I can. Are you going to be here? Well, where can I find you over the next day or two?"
Probably here. It's as good a place
Fair
as any.
enough. I will come find you here once I know more.
Thank you.
Appreciated, my dear. If we're not here, please leave a message with the barman.
Aye, fair enough.
I'll go to the bar and stick another 10 gold behind it, just so to make sure that he behaves himself and gives us preferential treatment and a decent room.
The halfling running the bar is most appreciative and reserves a room for you, and even says he can reserve a table for you if you so wish for the remainder of the time we're here.
Thank you, sir. It's so good to be in a civilized society again. Oh, and money talks and bullshit walks.
Indeed.
Speaking of which, I need some threads. Do you have a tailor around here?
Yes, there's many a tailor, sir. If you would like to just head out to many of the streets, you'll find most opulent tailors. There's some particularly well-dressed nobles in this town. Might not be
Excellent.
quite as fashionable as Waterdeep, but
Well,
good quality of dwarven make, many of them.
one needs to be different, taking this fashion to Waterdeep. One needs to stand out. Right, I will find a tailor.
Yes.
And I will buy a purple outfit, a red outfit. Well, burgundy. No, mahogany. Yes.
Fair enough.
Dress up, Arrakis.
We'll go yellow, I think, with green trim. Nothing magical, just, flash clothing.
Just flash clothing. Fair enough. So does that come with the clothes fine, does it?
It does indeed.
15 gold pieces of costume for an outfit.
45 rips. Fucking hell, okay, that'll do. That's fine. So that leaves me with that much. As I said, flash money.
While
That'll do me.
Arrakis is being tailored out and measured and asking which way he dresses.
I was going to say, I'll make sure there isn't distinctive cupping.
Whilst all this is going on,
Your tail, sir.
I'm kind of stood outside. Like when you're a dad and wives and kids are shopping, just congregate by the doorway. I'm sort of stood there, lost and confused. You all sympathise. You all got wiser girlfriends.
Imnek will. He wants to look for a blacksmith or an armourer.
Yeah, you can find plenty of them. What is it exactly you're after?
I'm looking for a suit of scale mail that, fortunately, I can use myself as a model because I want it for Harvey. So, I mean, elven, human, or dwarven make, it doesn't mind. He'd probably prefer dwarven or elven.
Yes, Mirabar is big enough of a city that you can find whatever you want in that regard.
So he would like to buy that. I think otherwise, Harvey is well enough equipped. So this is a bit weird, Steve. But my simulacrum would have access to all my abilities, including the ability to summon a pact weapon.
I believe so, if I'm right. Yes.
Assuming that you have no particular objection to that on.
Well, I got that.
That's
what the spell says. To be fair.
It's as long as it's not a like an ability that like has a limited number of use and therefore to charge or whatever, then I believe you get everything. Otherwise, because you can't recharge like spell slots or anything like or abilities that have that can be expended, but pact weapon can't.
Oh, it's formed without any equipment, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It also only lasts 12 hours. Oh no, doesn't it? It takes 12 hours. Sorry.
It takes 12 hours to cast. Yeah.
Till dispelled. Yeah. Wow.
Ah, yes, it can't regain expended spell slots.
Yeah. This is a duplicate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it would. I think so because it says it gets all the abilities, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So yes, it would, and because it's not a rechargeable thing, then yes, it would be able to do it. But rather than like form it out of like blackness, it forms it out of the ice that it's made out of.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yes. So weapon-wise, he's fine. But yeah, so I'll get him a suit of armor, however.
I would also like to go shopping, if I may. If I'll follow Imnek because I'm bored hanging around with the Ponce.
Well, yeah, he's on his third choice on. He's down to 3 types of lining for the suits, and he can't quite make his mind up between the paisley or the check.
That's always got to be the paisley.
And I would like, if possible, to invest in better armor, but I think I'm fairly limited in that.
As a thief. Studded leather is about as good as it gets without getting magical for that.
Yeah. What am I wearing? I think I'm wearing leather at the moment.
Well, studded leather would be a good investment.
So I think I could do with some studded. Can I go for any dwarven upgrades on that leather, on that armor?
No, unfortunately, you can't.
Okay, I would. Well, regardless, I'll still think I'd like to invest in some of that.
Yeah, so studded leather. If you want to, in fact, if you want to retain your stealth, you can still buy chain shirts and things like that, which will give you better. But there's a limit to how your dex bonus you get as well. So there's a trade-off there.
He's not proficient in medium armor.
He's not proficient in medium
armor.
So,
it's light armor. Yeah.
Studded leather is the best you can get. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do. And I'll follow Imnek to somewhere that I can get that from.
Yep.
Shame you can't buy armor of the night. I saw that once in Neverwin in Waterdeep. Fabulous thing. It was like a liquid shadow.
That would be quite impressive in Waterdeep. You said perhaps we could go to that shop next time rather than this dull.
No, it wasn't in a shop. It was being worn.
Perhaps there is some place here where we could acquire items of a magical nature.
Right. Is that what you're after? Is it? You're after some magical items?
Well, it probably wouldn't hurt.
So the way we're going to do it is, if you're going to do magical items, you can't just go to a shop and buy them, unless it's like a healing potion. Instead, you have to put the feelers out for the kind of thing you want.
Okay.
And then the longer the more powerful the item you want, the longer it takes for you to get hold of it. And of course, there'll be some bargaining and such like to find it. So You can find feelers, you can find traders in this kind of goods, but they don't keep like stock. It's not like you can go into a showroom and you go, "What would you like here, sir?" It's all kind of private trades. Magic items are.
I would like the robes of Vecna.
You're in for a long wait there, sir.
Wake me up next week.
Right,
well,
so-
the only thing that Arrakis is really interested in are some kind of protective robes, but I can't imagine they're going to be forthcoming or particularly cheap. So the only thing I need are items for spells, which I don't need anything. So I'm all good. Plus, I have 3 items already, so
Yes.
that's just good. And some dice I can't use.
So there's 2 things I'd like to put the feelers out for,
Okay.
and I will do this through my thieves networks.
Okay.
So I will actually use one of my most useless traits ever, and I will reach out to fellow thieves for some magical studded armor, as good as they can acquire,
Okay.
and or some of those goggles that help me see in the dark, or whatever it was that we spoke about last week, which I've completely forgotten.
Yeah, goggles of night or something. I can't remember.
Jesus, that'd be pretty bloody rare.
Yeah, so I'm
I think
I'm
they're fairly basic for magic items, actually.
I would say a drift globe would be quite fun, but I can already see in the dark, so I don't care.
Yes, but you have a rogue who can't.
Get a drift globe. What could possibly go wrong? Drift globes are fun.
So goggles of night are uncommon, apparently.
Where the hell are they?
In the compendium.
DMG.
Okay. Goggles of night are uncommon.
What's that?
It's
Oh,
dark
that looks
vision,
exciting.
seat.
Glamored
So-
studded leather. That sounds exciting. Sorry, carry on.
So what are you after, Imnek?
Maybe sort of like a cloak or shield that would increase my protection. Things that sort of spring to mind. Yeah, that's sort of.
Okay.
Could we see if we can try and find the Holy Avenger as well? The legendary Casimir. Not that any of
So-
us could wield it because we're not paladins, but anyway.
If I can just clarify my leather request, my armor request, I think, if possible, I'd like this glamored stuff, because that sounds exciting.
Okay.
Because then I can wear it, I can turn it into clothes like better than Andy's. And that just gave me great joy.
Shake my head. Actually, I don't know what you're doing because I'm being tailored. Flouncing.
Being felt up on your inner leg.
A cloak of billowing could be fun.
Is that Doctor Strange's cloak?
Kind of. I mean, it's completely useless. All it does is billow a bit and look a bit fancy. It has absolutely no magical properties at all. But yes, the cloak of billowing.
Anyway, right.
Okay, so you put your feelers out. And
Oh, yes.
again, you're told to wait a few days, and some people will get back to you, hopefully.
That's fine. I will now go and find some beer. So I will go back and I will.
Jesus. Don't mind me. That's just like stopping me. Fine, it's right.
I will return to the pub and seek solace in a pint.
Okay. Just that's.
I shall wear my green and yellow new outfit with paisley lining. The mahogany outfit has a deep purple lining, and the purple suit has yellow lining.
Okay.
Perhaps even yellow paisley lining. I shall be flouncing along the street in this stuff now.
Bear with me a second.
Right, while DM is busy, I shall go and recharge.
Yeah, I'll be back in a sec. Yeah, I'm gonna go grab a drink.
I'll stay right here.
I just worked it all out, and then you bugger off.
Yep, I'm here.
These cats are about the most peaceful I've ever seen them. Rather than being the annoying douchebags they usually are.
Catnip them up, have you?
No, not at all. That has the opposite effect. That basically makes them absolutely spaz out. But no, they're just kind of chilling on the sofa at the moment. Half asleep. I can hear the music in the background. It's good.
Yeah, I can't.
Really?
Bizarrely, it's my
I can't
computer
hear
bloody
any
playing
music
it,
either.
and I can't hear it. It's really odd.
How strange.
Yeah. So that's my computer being weird. Okay, so you're at the tavern, and the following day, Hilda returns. Takes a seat with you guys. Right, well, I'm sorry to say, I've got some bad news, and I've got some worse news. I tried my best. I put a good word in for you, but rules is rules. No non-dwarfs are allowed inside the Great Library in the Undercity.
Hmm.
Now, the worst news is, when I asked about the kind of book you're after, I got some embarrassed little shuffles off the people in charge of Undercity Library. It's one of the reasons why they don't allow non-dwarfs into city is because some books got stolen.
Wasn't me. I didn't do it. I've only just got here.
What kind of books?
Well, it seems that books on demons and such like were borrowed and never returned.
When?
Well, not too long ago, by the sounds of it. Well, in dwarf terms, that is.
That
So,
seems
last year
convenient.
sometime.
That seems convenient. Do they know who stole them?
No evidence, but I think we've got some idea of who might. The man denied it, but they could never prove it.
Who?
Man named Prexin Heskin.
Prexin Heskin.
Yes. Trader from Luskan.
Ah,
Why would a pirate fisherman want books on demons?
Well, as she looks around, kind of conspirationally leans forwards. The story is, although he's a trader, he's definitely not a pirate, and definitely not a fisherman. So
he's a
everyone
rigger.
thinks.
let the
Everyone-
lady finish, Cockwind.
Everyone thinks he's one of those arcane brotherhood types.
Oh,
I was simulating Arrakis' response. Ugh, I might have bloody known.
I
Well-
wonder if it was perhaps a certain arcane brotherhood person that we know.
Indeed. Or an associate.
Hmm.
I think it might be time for me to do the pretense thing again.
Yes.
Although I must admit, I'm quite keen on joining that little group. For larks.
Be interesting to see.
Now might be a good time.
So I'm sorry, that's all I can really help you with at the moment.
No, my dear, that's very helpful indeed. Do we know, I don't suppose you know where this Heskin Heston Blumenthal was last seen?
Well, I thought you might ask that. He does actually own estates in town.
Ah,
Nice little tower number.
sounds perfect.
Mm.
I'll look at Cockwind with a knowing glance.
And I'll look at sort of not really notice Arrakis and ask Helda. Would the dwarfs be pleased if the books were returned?
I can imagine they would. Yes, it's rather embarrassing for them, to be fair.
Okay, so we could save them a little bit of face, shall we say?
Indeed.
Aye.
Wow, I am at how should we say, a lull at the moment.
A loose end this
A
evening.
loose end this evening. I feel I might go for a stroll.
Do you know, I might go for a stroll as well. Take in the sights.
Yes,
towers.
when in Mirabar, I've been told you should go for a walk to a tower.
Ah, I've heard that as well.
Yes. It's
amazing
in all the Lonely Planets.
Indeed. It's amazing what you hear in the tales.
Imnek, fancy a stroll?
I suspect for the good of everyone, I should probably join you on this, just in case, things have a way of... Well, people tend to misinterpret how you gentlemen act. And you might need someone there who is slightly larger and far more heavily armoured, just in case.
I don't know what you mean.
A deterrent, if you will.
And
A deterrent
Sylfina,
after
are
the
you in
fact.
for this? Do you fancy a walk?
Sure. Got nothing there today.
Exactly. Well, I suppose you could sit here and drink yourself into a stupor. But I think a walk might be in everyone's best interests. How many estates does this chap have?
Just the one.
Ah, good. And a tower, you say? I assume it's quite noticeable.
She gives you directions to the location.
Right. Obviously, you never told us about this information.
Of course not. You ain't
Excellent.
heard a single thing from me here.
Feel free to make use of our ongoing tab. I assume it's nowhere close to running dry yet.
No.
20 gold pieces gets quite a lot.
Does indeed.
I've just dropped 65 rips today. Jesus Christ. Totally worth it. On frivolous items. Right. I'll have another shandy and we can wait for dusk.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a bard in this place?
Thankfully for you guys, no.
Good. I was about to
It's
say,
a relatively
if there
quiet
is-
affair.
If there is, we'd throw him through the fucking window. I'll shiver at the thought of another bard.
Steve, on just as an addition to the things of Imnek putting some feelers out, maybe some sort of perhaps gauntlets that increase strength, but just on the off chance.
Gauntlets. Ooh.
I'm not sure how much interest I would have in them, but it sort of occurred to me that there have been various points when we probably could do with someone who can bench press more than a pint of beer.
A belt of storm giant strength, that'll do. 29 strength. Boom.
Might be out of our price range, but yeah.
It is also a legendary item, so we ain't finding that anytime the next decade. Unless we storm the storm giant's castle.
It's a shame that we weren't able to check out that giant tomb. We are kind of on a time limit with the things we can do. But get that
Well,
at some point.
Well, I suggest we break into go for a walk
Taking the sights.
and Yes, then make our way to Skyreach Castle, or perhaps via Gauntlgrim. Too many things to do, dude. Seriously.
Gauntlgrim in the opposite direction to where we need to be going, I think.
Yes, they are. Well, we have a giant and a castle.
But he also has things to be doing. Unfortunately, he said as much. I think we might be pushing our luck, even getting him to take us to Skyreach Castle. He seems to be. I wonder if he will just eventually take us to the Eye of the Allfather or whatever it is called, and then we might be on our own. I don't know.
It also doesn't move very fast, remember?
Moves quicker than Road.
I don't think it's that much faster.
It was faster over the mountains because it was flying over the mountains. But it's not actually that much quicker than walking, no. The advantage is you don't have to worry about being attacked by anything on the road.
Yep.
It's a great advantage. Anyway, one thing at a time. Let's go and wander. I'll basically park up in the corner now. I want to get smashed, but at the same time, it's probably not a good idea if you're in for a bit of,
Walking.
burglary. Walking, yeah, walking.
Promenading, I think they used to call it in the times of yore.
Evening constitutional.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. Right then, let's do this, boys.
Okay, so you'll make your way through the streets of Mirabar. Things are starting to die down for the evening. Things are, gas lanterns are coming on, kind of thing. Street lamps are coming on, and you make your way to. I hope this works.
Bugger.
The address you've been provided.
Forgot to get a black outfit. Oh well, never mind.
So you're there, and you're flash, bright yellow, green trim, and paisley inside.
I was about to say, can I change into the mahogany colour for evening wear?
Yeah.
Yes, you
Thank
can.
you.
Right. Ooh, hello.
I don't know. I hope this has worked. I really do.
I see a picture of a tower.
Yes, that's what you can see.
With an ass at the
Okay.
bottom.
And an ass and some stairs.
Yeah.
I forgot to do this bit. That was annoying.
How's the Skype working out for you, Derek?
It's sort of since we've started, it's deteriorated slightly, but it's still a hell of a lot better. The sound has been almost perfect the whole way through, at least.
It does seem a lot better. You seem a lot smoother and a lot less laggy.
Yeah. I mean, that was the real killer, was not being able to hear you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, you've painted it green.
Dynamic lighting, is it?
Should be.
What?
The problem is this is an absolute nightmare to absolutely check because I can't move a player around, so I don't. Hopefully, everyone can see something.
Yeah.
There's a diagonal swipe from top left to bottom right.
I just see the tower picture.
The bottom left of the picture is illuminated. The top right is not.
Same for me.
Yep, same for me. And it's now gone all dark for me.
Just changed, yes.
I just see a picture of a tower still. Fresh roll 20, I guess.
Okay, so you guys cannot see anything in the bottom right-hand corner of the thing.
Just a set of steps.
So all you can see is this thing here, yeah?
I'm refreshing roll 20 because it wasn't displaying any of that.
Sorry, where were you pinging?
So all you can see is the picture of the tower on the left of the screen, yeah, and everything else is black.
Everything else is black.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Ah! That was wrong. Do I turn that off? This might go horribly wrong. You can see the entire map.
can see
Nope.
bits of it to the right.
We can see sort of walls.
Yep.
Okay. So you can basically see some walls in front of you, yeah?
Yep.
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 Right. So where I've put you on the map is, if you look at the left-hand side, there's that ping there. So basically what you've got is nestled in between like other houses, you've got this house and a tower coming out of the top left, which you can see on the left-hand side. So I've just shown you the kind of map of what you can see on the left at the moment.
Yeah.
Just to kind of show you what's there. But basically you have a front door, what looks like a house which fits the rest of it, and then this massive tower in the back. And you can see lights from inside. There's lights on the ground floor and there's lights coming from the top floor.
Okay.
A wizard's tower. What could possibly go wrong?
I feel you should start creating a list.
Do I have baggy sleeves on my outfit?
I assumed it's better tailored than that.
Yes, indeed.
Well, plan of attack, gentlemen. Where would whatever this guy is, arcane brother, keep his
Wizard.
books?
Top floor.
Top
Or
floor?
in the basement. Anything like that, he'll probably keep in his study. We just need to find
Right.
it. So, through the front door.
Hell.
I have an idea actually,
Oh.
and I will.
Arrakis will look stunned. Imnek has come with an idea.
Imnek will ignore him, and I will cast locate object and specify the nearest book on demons and see if that registers anything.
The nearest book on demons. I think you have to have known the
You
object.
do, it's a
No,
object.
no, to get like to find a specific object, I've got to know it. But if I can locate the nearest object of a particular type, because this is how I found the dwarven bones.
Won't be able to find a book on demons, but you'll be able to find a book.
Okay, nearest book then,
So yes,
Describe
there
or
are
name an
books
object that is
inside the
familiar
tower.
to you.
like
Uh,
up or down.
Nearest object of a particular kind.
Of a particular kind, yeah. So it says such as apparel, jewelry, furniture, tools, or something
A
like
book.
Okay.
a book. Yeah, it's not going to know. Yes, so there are books coming from inside the tower. You can see some on all the floors. There's several books inside this tower.
Several.
So where are the lights coming from, Steve? You said well, some are up the tower
So
and
some
some
at the top, and some coming out of this room here.
which room are you pinging there?
So you got the front door, and there's
yeah.
like the room next to it, and you can see some lights on the top of the tower.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
going to go up.
Get your slippers
gentlemen.
on.
So I shall don the slippers, which I have now found out I don't need to keep taking off. But nonetheless, I'm going to
Cool.
stick. I'm going to stick with it. I will don my slippers, and I shall resolutely march up the side of the tower and have a peek in the window.
Okay, so whereby are you having a peek?
Whereby I am going to have a peek.
Can you move your character up to the left-hand side of the building here?
Yeah, I think I moved
that?
there. Wow, this is pretty funky.
So yeah, what you can see, hang on, you'll be able to see through these kind of windows here, which I didn't anticipate this, did I? Being the idiot I am, I didn't anticipate it. So hopefully, right, what I might have to do is do that.
Yep. Okay.
No.
Right. So this looks just right. I'm gonna keep on mooching around. This is seriously funky business, like. So is it only me that can see this stuff, or is everyone able to see it?
No, I can see it.
I have to see the same thing. That's already been shown.
Okay. I'll come back down and I'm going to go up to the next floor because there's nothing on that floor. It was terribly unexciting.
Okay. I can do it that way. So yeah, you can basically see just lots of rooms into doors and what look like staring
Yeah.
cupboards and like a staircase,
Like a
spiral
lighthouse
leading to
up the middle, yeah.
yeah. So if I can grab that one, I do that again. So you do a similar thing. There's a ring of windows around. This looks like some kind of study.
Yeah. So
But it's a very simple desk, and there's all kinds of weird cages and things like that in the room.
So I'm going to remember what Arrakis said and start thinking that I'm getting close, but this doesn't look posh enough, in my opinion. So I will carry on to the 4th floor.
Okay, now this one, if you go around, you should be able to see through the windows if I've done this right.
Oh, yeah, this one's working.
So
oh,
you
yeah.
can see into a little bedroom.
Yeah, I got a little bedroom there with a lovely bed. And we've got... Oh, can't go there. Oh, yeah, okay. And on this
Excuse me.
one... Oh, hello, there's a dude.
So can
Is
you
it-
make a stealth check, Mr. Sid?
Dude, right, okay.
Yes, fair enough.
So I'll be peering in the window and I'll see the dude. And
So you can see there's a bloke at his desk scribbling away. He's wearing some robes.
now, is he quite deep into a book or what's he writing, reading?
Yeah, he's making notes on something. He's got a couple of books open. He's making some notes.
And he's quite distracted.
Yeah, he seems to be, yeah.
Stab him in the back of the head.
Well,
I don't see any of our tokens, by the way.
Can't see anything, Adam.
No, they're all three down by the front door, apart from Sid's, who seems
up
to have
the top.
disappeared.
I'm up the
He's-
top.
Yeah, we can't see you though.
No, we can't see you.
Right, okay. Regardless,
Yeah, you're moving around. Yeah.
can I? Oh, did we forgot to ask the dwarf what this book looks like?
She probably doesn't know.
It'll be pretty obvious, I would have thought.
Do you reckon? Okay.
Probably like chained
Big-
on.
Yeah, big red bastard with horns on it or something.
Okay. Can I see in this room? Can I see anything that would look dwarven? Because I'm guessing this guy isn't a dwarf.
No, he's not. He's human. It's hard to tell because he's got several books on his desk.
Right. Okay.
It's hard to tell from the angle you're seeing because all you can really see is the spines and maybe a little bit of script. But from where you are peering in through the window from outside, you can't make anything out.
Okay. So I think the best thing I can do now is go back down the tower and see the boys and tell them that I found what I assume is Praxin at the top of the tower. He seems very intent on reading some books. But I don't know what we're looking for, so I don't know if he's got the book we want. So maybe down is worth an investigation, as you said, Arrakis.
Into the dungeon. What could possibly go wrong?
Can you now see, Adam?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I forgot to press the right button.
So, actually, whilst I was up the tower, did I see a way of trapping the guy in the tower?
You could only see what you could see through the window, basically. So
Okay.
from the angle you were at, I think you could just see his desk.
I could just see his desk. I couldn't see anything else. I see his bedroom.
You don't even know it's him.
Well, no, we don't. I don't know what he looks like.
Have you seen John's message, Steve,
No.
in Roll20?
I don't know how to do that because John's not playing.
That's a fair point,
Oh,
actually.
yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point.
Oh, well. Never mind.
Hmm.
Can you put his token on the map just in like the corner?
I could do, yeah.
And then you whisper us all the stuff you see, right, John? Good man.
That's what he looks like. He looks far too rakish and handsome.
Hopefully, that should mean that he can see as well. Yes. Okay.
If he tells Arrakis there's a door that's totally fine for him to just walk through as he normally does, Imnek will immediately rugby tackle Arrakis.
Last time I opened the door, nothing went wrong at all.
Right, perhaps I should open these doors as you're clanking and banging might draw some attention.
Imnek's going to consider. I do have the ability to make myself invisible with magic, but I don't know.
Perhaps you should keep that for later.
I think we should keep an eye out for traps, and maybe Arrakis, you could use that, put that staff to good use, and see if there's any magic around.
Oh no! Found some baddies. Do you need me a stealth tech?
Yes, please.
I'm having a mooch around the outside of this place. Oh shit! That's a bad stealth roll for once.
Oh.
That didn't last long.
My staff. What does my staff do?
They don't appear to
Detect
have
magic,
noticed
I
you.
can't
Really? Really? Okay.
The tech magic dimension door.
Who are these guys? What do they look like, Steve?
Detect magic's not going to do much.
It's two men wearing armor, carrying with shields propped up against the table. They're around the table playing cards with a couple of drinks at the table.
Okay.
cards,
What
you
kind? So just like lightly armored, heavily armored guards.
Yeah,
like-
they're wearing like a scale mail. You got spears. You can't see peering through the window. You can't see any shields or anything like that.
Whereabouts are they?
They're just by
Yeah,
the window.
Okay. Would it be possible, because you see now, okay, if I go down here and follow, oh, I see, right, so they're in there. Oh, this is
Yeah.
quite nifty.
This is well cool. If only a little bit confusing. Right. So I'm just going to carry on my little walk around the outside.
Is it possible to see the way in?
Right. Looking in this window.
If you're looking for the window, Arrakis, you need to make a stealth check as well.
Oh, I'm not trying to hide.
You're just peering through the window.
I am, yeah.
Stick your face up. Hello.
No, I'm not trying to hide. What I'm going to try and do is basically join the game.
So
I'm
what are
trying
you
to-
actually doing then? So you're
I'm
standing
going to
by
sort of look through the window. I'm not trying to sort of make myself obvious, but at the same time, I'm not trying to hide either.
Okay, so the one furthest in the table does notice someone poking around outside the window, so kind of stands up from the game, and you can hear him say to the other one, no, no.
I'll look through the window, and just sort of look surprised. And I'll just sort of wave a few sort of coins around in the air.
They kind of both look at each other and go, huh? And then the one furthest who's standing up decides to take a walk out and opens a slat on the door.
Excellent. So if I follow him through.
What do you want?
I've heard there's a game going on, and well, not averse to the to a game of cards. I thought you boys might like to earn a little money, if you're good enough.
Private game, sorry, mate.
Oh, well, that's a shame. I'll just pull out a few platinum pieces at this point, and I'm sure we can probably come to some arrangement.
Just log off, mate. It's private property. Clear off.
Oh, very well. I'm sorry. I was heard that yes, Praxis is also keen on the game as well.
What's it going to take to get rid of you?
No,
Spear up the arse?
no, you're all right. I'll disappear. I'll disappear. Never mind. Obviously, I've got the wrong address,
You have.
and I'll wander off just out of sight.
Well, he only had the slat open, didn't he? It wasn't like he opened the door.
Yeah, he opened like a slat to look through.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I try picking this door? Is it open? Well, I assume it's locked, but the fact he didn't
It's
open
locked.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can
All
try
right.
attempt to pick the
I can
lock.
pick it. Right. Okay. How badly wrong could this go? Boom. That's got to be
That'll
open.
do it. Click, 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 click.
And I will quietly go through the door. If I can. Can I go inside?
Okay, you can go inside. Hang on a second. Hang on. I might have to. This is a pain to do, but when it works, it's amazing. Come on, select that. Just select that. No, just worked brilliantly last time. There we go. No. Oh, bollocks. For some reason, it really takes a lot of processing power to do this on the DM side. There we go.
Ooh, that is so neat. I like this. Right. Now, what's this drain in the corner here?
So this is just like a reception room. There's a bit of storage. You can see the back end of the chimney kind of here. And
it's chimney,
there's-
right.
yeah, and then you can see like a barrel for storage, and then some cloaks, like some cloak hooks and that kind of thing.
Is this a door?
Yes, it's a door.
So I can
Closed, I assume.
So, but yes.
Cool.
So having
A little bit of that,
Mosey
you
on
can
in.
see it, yeah.
so I know that they're in there because I saw them earlier. There's only this is the only door in this room, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, that'll do.
Good
I'll
God.
mosey on in. At the moment, I'm more stealthy than you are.
Yes, this is quite true.
Shh, Cockwind.
Well, there's not really much to be done here other than go in and
Beat the crap out of them.
yeah. But we
That
should
should be-
do this quietly if we can.
What are we going to do? Whisper at them?
He's consulting a book. That's not good.
So can I? When I looked in the window, were these guys facing away from the door or towards the door?
They were kind of like slouched in such a way that they're back to the windows you were looking through, so they could keep an eye on the door.
Ah, shit. In which case, can I? Ah, yeah. All right.
Boot the door in. Or I
No,
could do that.
no. I'm gonna
A
go around.
famous maneuver.
I'm gonna go back round to the window, and when I was here, could I reach in and grab them?
The window is quite. It's a reasonably high window, and it's shut. Remember, so you'd have to open
Okay.
the window. It's not an open just to port into the middle of into the night. It is a closed window.
Okay. In which case, Arrakis is quite correct. We are going to toss the door open
Toss the
Definitely.
door
Just-
open.
in the sort of the classic Miami 5-0 or Hawaii 5-0 style. And book 'em Dano. So we'll I'll
No.
boot the door open and Arrakis can take the first strike.
Indeed.
Okay.
Wandering.
Right. Am I on the right thing again? Yep. So if I do that,
Oh. Hello, gentlemen.
roll for initiative.
Crap.
Hang on. Oop, yep, it's all right. Oh, God, I've got to keep swapping between things. Objects and tokens. One of them. Okay. Cockwind, you have the initiative.
Okay.
By By the way, these two guys were behind the door, spears ready, waiting for you.
So, okay, so we don't got any surprise on them. Bastards.
No.
Right, okay. So I'm going to go for this boy here.
Oh, that's not very
Actually, can I
welcoming for a
see
game
him,
of
or-
cards.
Yeah, you can see both of them.
Okay.
I'm assuming that Arrakis has burst the door open and you're just behind him.
Yeah, that's it, pretty much.
Uh,
Okay, I'm going to do my usual. Actually, no, I'll go for this guy, because then I get my stealth attack.
You do, because I'm within 5 feet.
Yes.
You drop him in a single shot, that'll be handy.
He's going to miss. He's going to miss.
He's missed.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
Ding! I've just shot it into your leg.
Thanks.
Arrakis.
Yeah, for goodness sake. I mean, really. Where do I go? Where do I go? I could run in and find out exactly who's in there. Is it just the two of them?
I only saw two at the window.
Just the two of them, eh? Just the tip. So if I run to here, or even here,
Then they get an attack of opportunity against you. Both of them would.
that's a good point and well made. Oh, I don't want to use all the heavy gear because that just seems ridiculous. So I shall back up. And well, we'll go in light. We'll go in light for now. We'll just use a firebolt at the. What kind of armor are they wearing? Just out of interest.
Scale mail.
So it's metallic.
Yeah.
No, I'll just use a firebolt at the guy directly in front of me.
Okay.
I'll do.
Yeah.
Arrakis has been practicing.
Okay.
I'll retreat.
Imnek.
Okay. Alright. Imnek will sigh slightly to himself. That wasn't exactly what he was expecting, but he knows he knows the drill by now. So these guys are actually tieflings.
They're humans.
They just got a tan. They've been down to Tantastic this afternoon.
I was just thinking because if they were tieflings, then I think Imnek probably has some aggression to work out on people who look like a certain person he knows. However, as they're not. Which one did
The one directly
firebolt
there.
to?
The one directly there. So that one.
This one.
Yeah, we'll just sort of
We're looking a little singed at this point.
take him down. Do I cast Hex? I can't use any other concentration. So. Yes, I will. I will cast Hex on the gentleman because it has a playtime. And then I will strike him.
Ooh.
Nice.
Playing there.
What
Well,
is
I've
that
got a-
noise?
Sorry,
Squeaky
that was me
chair
just
on
one of
my
my headphones.
Okay.
So that's 13 damage. Yep.
He's still up, I assume.
Yes, indeed, still up.
Okay.
Seems still quite healthy as well.
I will give him the good news again.
That is unfortunately a miss. He dodges out of the way quite rather fast.
Do they have
Slippery.
shields?
Slippery.
They don't. They're brandishing their spears two-handed, but he just seemed to just duck under the attack.
Scale,
Slippery little buggers.
medium armor, no shield, and a 16 misses. Okay.
It's a hell of a dex.
Well, yeah, that's with medium armor particularly. Okay. And that's my turn done.
I just need to check one thing.
I've got
before
16,
I
and that's with leather and a shield, and a dex of
Yeah.
+3.
You can only get +2 max dex with medium armor unless you have a feat.
Enemies don't work like that, though.
Possibly, I don't know.
No, they don't. But they're not player characters. They're simplified stats.
Mm. Well, it's usually get a stat block with a bunch of stuff, and it'll tell you like these things are included in whatever their abilities are, and it'll tell you what they can do.
Sorry. Okay.
Whoa!
Right. So
That is
Since
not
Imnek-
good news.
as Imnek is standing in the way, both of them try and jab him with their spear. Well, one of the one's been hitting them, so he makes 2 attacks with his spear at Imnek.
Human my ass.
First one is a critical hit and does
Nasty.
11 piercing damage, and the damage
roll
or the wound also does fire damage to you.
Okay.
So it does a total of 7 plus 4, 11 plus another 8. It does 19 damage to you.
Okay.
He makes another attack. And to be fair, I should have done 2 of them because you got hit twice. Yes.
It makes me wonder if these things
Makes
are now
8
resistant.
damage.
That's a miss.
Is that a miss? Okay.
On an 11, yes.
Yes. The other one does the same thing. Oh.
That's
So
a hit.
21 and an 18.
So a hit and a miss.
And so the 21 does 13 points of damage to you.
It's quite a hit for me.
Adam.
Need to move in first.
I fear they may be resistant to fire.
Okay,
I guess I'll just cast Chill Touch on one of them. The one in front of Imnet.
Oh,
That's a hit. Does 2 necrotic damage.
maybe we
Yeah.
do want to break out the big guns, guys.
Yes.
Cockwind.
Hello.
Right.
Right.
Hit Summit now.
I'm going to try my best, mate. I'm going to try my best. Which one's soaked up a bit of damage? There's this one here, isn't it?
It's the it's
Yeah,
him.
that's the one.
Right. I'm gonna go for him. Oh bugger! I forgot to hide on my last go, but it's okay.
You still get your stealth attack.
You can hide now.
Sneak attack, rather.
Can I hide now?
Yeah, you can do your bonus action before you hide, but you won't be hidden during their turn then.
Yeah. No, I think I'll do my usual. I'll light crossbow, and I'll remember to hide this time. Here we go. Oh, that's better.
That's a hit.
I'm on my 3d6 these days, aren't I?
Yep.
24.
24.
Well, do.
That's a nice one.
And I'm gonna hide. So I pop out, fire it off through the door slats, and then tuck back behind the wall.
Nice.
Just check something quickly.
Do you know what? I've just worked out what this map actually means. Such a prick.
What?
I've just
multiple floors. You damn bastard.
I've literally just realised.
We're in the
what I've
hoose at
done.
the bottom,
I
and then
know.
there's the towers above it.
I've literally just clocked that right now.
Yeah,
I'm like, I get it now. Why didn't I just go to the roof? And I would have avoided all this bollocks.
Right.
Oh.
The guard that you've just hit with your crossbow.
Yes.
The appearance of him being a guard kind of shatters away. And instead, you see something more akin to to Arrakis. It's
Oh.
red-skinned, horned, a bat-like wings and a tail, and a certain fieriness to its being.
Arrakis. You didn't tell us it was a family reunion.
Yes, well, not family I'm familiar with, thankfully.
Arrakis.
Well, as he's from down below, I think a little ray of frost may not go unamiss. So I'm going to shoot the same dude, and I'm going to use frost this time because he's clearly fucking immune to fire, so, or at least resistant to it. So let's give him a bit of ice to think about. There we go.
12 ice damage.
And on top of that, I think that reduces his speed by 10 feet if he's ever going to bother moving. If I score a hit.
Okay.
Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure Ray of Frost does that.
Imnek.
Okay. Imnek's now going to mutter under his breath. Now you really do look like someone I know. Furiously take a
yes.
swing.
His speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of his next turn, Steve.
Okay.
The start of his turn, I suppose.
Still has the hex active on him.
The start of my next turn.
13 damage.
Another swing, assuming he's still up.
Yeah, he's still up. And that's 18
Oh.
damage.
The start of my next turn. Sorry, not his
Right,
next
okay.
turn.
I was to say, it doesn't seem like it'd ever work out that way.
Yeah.
And then, because they hit pretty hard, and Imnek is feeling
down.
a bit singed,
Boom.
he is going to use his second wind as a bonus action to regain some health.
Nice.
Okay. Imnek's already looking moderately beat up.
Get out of there. We can deal with him.
And then he's just hearing that, is just going to sort of step to the side as if to say to the Cambion guy, sure, how about they?
Okay. He sees
Or
you
will I do that? Yeah, because Cockwind
Here,
is still-
devilly devil.
He will kind of shoulder his shield and he thrusts forward with his hand, out of which this blast of fire comes.
At anyone in particular?
Yeah, that's you, yes. So it's armor class 20 for 12 fire damage.
Fuck it out.
Jesus.
Oh, we're in the big boy leagues now.
Sylfina.
I need to get lungs.
Get
Have I
stuck
got-
in.
No, because the only way I've got effective in method is Flame Blade, which is not exactly going to do great.
Oh, I don't know. It's kicked a lot of ass before now.
Yeah, but these are clearly fire things, aren't they?
Yeah.
If I can steam the.
Can you heal him, Neg?
Not for lot.
It might help. The difference between consciousness and unconsciousness is a very fine line.
Or I could just do 22 necrotic instead.
Or you could do that, yeah?
That'll do. We'll have that.
That's a good answer. Well made.
I shut you up,
Bloody
didn't it,
hell.
Andy?
22 necrotic damage. That'll do nicely, won't it? It's not frost damage either. It's necrotic damage. Even it's called chill touch. Yeah.
He's feeling
Can't regain
very,
hit points.
very roughly touched.
Cockwind.
Oh God, it's coming around quick. Right, yeah, same old thing, but I think I get my advantage this go.
Yeah, because you hit, didn't you?
Amazing. When we're not in a bar brawl with about 30 different involved parties, it turns
It
go
comes
really
around quick. Oh, it's going to be a miss.
You survived. Just.
That is a miss, Sid.
Okay, and I will just huff and try and hide.
Oh, bloody hell.
That's going well, at least.
Yeah, that's working.
Wow. You are now
Arrakis.
invisible to the naked eye. Well, I'll move here so I can see the little swine. And go, hello, little brother. And, well, it worked so well last time. Well, it still hits him,
Yeah.
and it slows him down.
What do you do? I don't think
Okay.
he's going anywhere.
Imnek.
Okay. Imnek will. Oh, actually, I need to take a concentration check. From last time, I'm fine. Yeah, Imnek will move the hex onto this guy. And then
Oh, yeah, the illusion on him will have disappeared as well, so he's obviously this demon thing as well.
and I will take another swing at him. That's a miss, is it?
Yep,
And another swing.
that's a hit.
Yep.
16 damage.
Slashing him. No. Remember that it counts as magical in case that's relevant.
Yes. Well, it comes with the list as packed longsword +1. So
yeah, it's not.
Okay.
It's interesting. It's not technically a magic weapon, but it's like a monk fists counts as magical.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. That's me done.
Okay. It is going to. It's going to give you another blast with a fire, I think. But it seems to think that went quite well last time. So
That's reasonably well.
do that with the first one, which is a miss. And that was the second one, which is also a miss.
What about your simulacrum, Derek?
Oh, that's a point, actually. Yeah, because I didn't put the tokens on. I would have.
It's a bit late now, but
yeah.
just reminding you, if he's loitering outside, it might be a good time to bring him in.
Because normally I'm used to putting the tokens on the board, but because they're already here, I forgot. Yeah.
I haven't got a token for him yet either.
Yeah.
Can you drag another one of yourself on?
No, you can't. You can't. I can't because it's then you, and the hit points won't be tracked.
Okay.
We can do it, but then you'll have to make a note. You'll have to remember which one's which.
Yeah.
What we'll do is let's try this a second. You'll have to make a note your simulacrum's hit points separately.
Okay. They're different anyway, but yeah.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah. That's why I did mention last session I was going to do this with him. So, okay, I need to work out what his.
Yeah. Let's do. What's that for?
That's for his false life.
Remember, you'll only get one of them.
No, it's. Hang on.
You'll only get one because it's one spell and that's it.
It doesn't use a spell slot.
Okay.
An interesting point, but it doesn't.
Because it's not.
It doesn't. Yeah, because he gets it from the invocation, not from his spell list. So it's a good point actually, though. So Fiendish Figure, you can cast False Life on yourself at will as a first level spell without expending a spell slot or material components.
Does it still cost an action?
Well, it's a duration spell. Remember how we've been
yeah, no, but it's still got to be considered in the action economy.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's still an action, isn't it?
So are cantrips, and you don't lose them.
Yeah, it still takes an action to cast. That's the thing.
Yeah. But because of your special ability, it would be a bonus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to start you to keep saying that when you were casting False Life.
We've covered this. We agreed this a long time ago, Steve.
Yeah, but I'm going to rescind it a little bit because you're basically getting a free action in retrospect. So I'm happy for you to say, all right, we're about to go in. I'll cast False Life before we go in, kind of thing. But it's going to need a bit of a reminder to say it rather than do it retroactively.
We already discussed this, Steve, because I can have it at any point, and I keep refreshing it.
Yeah, but it's still an action is the problem. So it's something you've got to say you're going to do.
Okay.
So I just don't want it done. I don't want it done retroactively. Basically, I don't want you to say, "Oh, I would have cost that then." If you've forgotten to cast it, you've forgotten to cast it. But if you're saying like, "Oh, we're walking up to this wizard's
I'm
place,
doing.
I cast
We
False
do
Light."
this to save time,
Yeah.
and like this is quite a common thing. I looked. I checked on how other people handle this, and this is the common way of doing it as well. So it's just to save time of always every time having to.
Yeah,
do it.
no, I understand that. Yeah, it's just the issue is it does cost an action to do, and if we don't know you've cast it, we just need to make a note of that. That's happened. That's all.
Okay.
But I've put him there. That should now work as your simulacrum, but you'll have to keep a track of his hit points separately. That's all.
Okay. Does he need to roll initiative separately?
No, he'll go on your initiative.
Okay. Has he missed his turn?
Well, since we didn't mention him, we'll assume he's keeping an eye on the street for now.
Yeah.
And then whose turn will be on? Sylfina's now, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Yep. Same again.
Nice.
That's 8 damage there. So, God, mental arithmetic's gone out the window.
He's on 1 hit point, mate.
Yeah, 1 hit point. That'll be it.
What am I looking for? Oh,
Cockwind.
Hello. Right. So, popping out from the shadows in which I was hidden. I'll drop one of them. Oh, I had advantage as well. Balls. Never mind. Don't need it.
Well, you might go for it.
Oh, good point.
Go on to it. Then.
There you go.
It's the same roll.
And that hits, I think, yeah?
Yeah.
Bang, I can feel that. And then a hide.
18 damage.
Bosh, and I could have had that earlier.
Fucking hell.
But that'll do. So I'll just nip through the legs of somebody and fire a bolt off at this glowing red fiery dude, and then sneak back again, slinking
Okay.
to the shadows.
Arrakis.
See, all of a sudden, we're not all that bad, are we? Now, I could do a bunch of things here, and I'm very tempted to try. Right, let's get cocky.
Careful of the champagne rugby, mate.
Champagne rugby.
It's what the English play when they think they're winning.
Ah, yes, yes. Well, I was thinking of doing 2 spells in one go.
Oh.
There's not really much point. Right, Shocking Grasp. I'm going to run to here. And I'm going to target him with Shocking Grasp. Because he's wearing metal armor, I get advantage on the old hit.
Mm-hmm.
He's not, though, is he?
He's wearing
He
splint
is.
mail. He's
Wearing
wearing
I
metal
thought-
armor.
Oh, I thought that was an illusion.
Yeah, no, the illusion was that he was a human. He's still wearing scale mail,
I see. I got you.
and you're carrying a spear.
I understand.
Good thing you had the advantage.
Yes.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
So you just some sort of Palpatine thing on him there.
Yes.
So
I have
basically,
gone-
yeah.
I've gone full, what's his chops? Not Jedi, the other one.
Sith.
Full Sith, yes. I could live with that. And I'll move into the room. Oops. That's the wall, into the room. How do I get into the room? Oh, there we go. 1, 2, 3. There we go. End of combat. Boom. Now that, boys, is how it's done. That was very satisfying, actually.
Easy for you to say, says leading slightly. More than slightly.
So, have you got any healing potions, Imnek, or anything?
I think I have one.
Okay.
Not sure if I've got any, actually.
I'm packing 2 at the moment, so if you needed one.
Okay.
I've got one. I'll
Okay.
pass mine to him, Nick. Here.
Okay. Nod his thanks, having taken out certain feelings on these two gentlemen here.
Right
It won't
then.
happen again. So I need.
I can probably just. Oh, I actually don't think I have the thing set up.
Scoosh it down.
Is there
Sugar,
anything
yeah.
else in this room, Steve?
No,
Other
it's
than-
obviously just like a kind of anti-room. There's a table there. There's some cards there. That's about it, really.
He will
I
cast
take
false
it?
life on himself.
Can I poke these corpses to see if there's anything either A on them or B, there's anything I recognise from below?
Make a history check.
A history check.
Oof.
Let's roll.
You recognise their physiology. They appear to be cambions, which are the offspring of a very similar to a tiefling. They are the offspring of a demon and a human, a mortal,
Yes.
but more specifically, the offspring of a succubus or an incubus.
Yes. Nasty little buggers, these.
Can I just pop to the table and pinch one of their ales because I feel a bit thirsty?
There's actually some wine it's on the table rather than ales.
I shall
Oh.
take the bottle
You know, it's good to see sophistication in our enemies.
and I will pass him a goblet and I shall chug out the bottle like a heathen.
Thank you. Thank you. I shall take the goblet and. Piss.
Well, I thought it was rather good.
You would. Right, onwards.
Now
Imnek,
then,
how are
I
you?
Still not feeling great. Those things hit really hard.
Anything you can do, Sylfina?
Not really. Bare minimum.
It may help.
Well, a D4 plus 4, so not actually much more than a healing potion.
Very well. Right, onwards. Can we listen at this door?
You can make a perception check.
very unlike you.
Well, you know, I
But
mean, I clearly can handle myself, but, you know, Imnek's not looking great. You know, the old backstop's a bit wounded. Perception check. I'll do. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
You hear nothing from the other side.
Arrakis is on form today.
I'll grab Arrakis by the leg and say, "Shall we proceed somewhat quietly, Arrakis?"
I concur. I don't want to run into any more of these bloody cambions again. They're a little more trouble than they're worth. And if they're Jagards, it does bear the question as what lies ahead.
Yes. So, shall I move a few feet ahead of us and see what there is to see?
By all means.
Okay. Do you want a stealth check off me, Steve, or am I okay at the moment?
You're okay at the moment.
Okay, sure. Go in this room if I can, please. Okay. Anything to be seen in here? I
So
see a
basically,
bed.
it's a kitchen.
Oh, kitchen.
That's actually, yeah. So what you can see there, I've done the thing a bit, but a couple of hobs.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
Kitchen table, kitchen workbench there, and a store cupboard with some food.
I shall grab some food as I pass nonchalantly.
Grab a cold cut and a pork pie.
That's pretty much what I'm thinking. And
Have they got
I
a steak
shall-
pie?
Wee sausages through it.
Aye.
Can I listen at this door?
You can. You don't hear anything.
Oh, okay.
um,
I shall push it open and head up.
we
Look.
should, in that we'll say sort of quietly, from now on, I think we should be careful of traps and
Good.
arcane things. I don't trust the wizards' towers, especially
Mm.
not ones which have demons at their beck and call.
Mm.
So hearing this,
Our Warlock.
I think out loud and I say, perhaps the traps will be more obvious if we're coming from a non-traditional direction.
You mean the wall?
Well, I'm thinking if I come in through our upper window and came the other way and let you in this door rather than us go through it from here, perhaps I would see any traps there might be.
I mean, if you're willing to walk through the traps on our behalf there, Cockwind, then by all means.
I'm hoping that I will be able to see the traps before I spring them.
Be careful
Having
of the fall plates, though.
I've learnt my lesson in that bloody fort.
Sensible. Well, one thing I could do, which is a good idea now, we're in a magical area. I'm going to use the staff to cast Detect Magic, which uses one of its charges.
Okay.
So that should tell me if there's anything magical within a distance that I'm about to work out. I can't remember its range. Detect Magic. Detect Magic. For the duration, concentration up to 10 minutes. I can sense the presence of magic within 30 feet in front of me. Or within 30 feet of me. A spell can penetrate most barriers, but it's blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of dirt or wood. These walls look thicker than a foot.
You gotta assume the floor is thicker. So, what say we? Shall we go the front way, or shall I go a different way?
Well,
If you run into trouble in a court, though,
Oh
and they
yeah,
can't help you.
true.
It's a good idea, but it has its dangers.
So, what can I do? Can I do like a minesweeper thing? You know when they like lie on the floor with a knife and poke the soil?
Yes.
Can I can I do something like that as I now go through this door?
Yes. You can make a
Investigation?
investigation check. So,
Okay.
yeah, make an investigation check. Ooh, all of a sudden the lights have worked. Blimey. Okay. Investigation. Yes, you spot nothing untoward as you head through that door.
Okay. What? Hang on a minute. What the?
It's the
bloody
larder.
hell? It's the bloody larder. What a waste of a! What a waste!
Laugh out loud.
Arrakis, you can sense some abjuration magic from your detect magic spell.
Do I know where from?
You can just sense the presence of it somewhere in this room. Sorry, in the main kitchen.
In the main kitchen.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there's a door here. So you know we've that's. Can I investigate the hob?
Yes. You're not getting any sense of direction.
Okay.
Cockwind, what are you doing? I noticed you've.
There's another door here, isn't there?
Yes.
Right. So I shall. I shall try my minesweeper action.
Okay, make
And my
another investigation
over here.
check then.
Oh god.
You don't notice anything untoward.
Okay.
So is there nothing on this hob then? It's magical.
No, you can't see anything magical on the hob. You're not getting a sense of what it is. It's not like an object. You just can sense that some abjuration magic has been cast nearby.
Abjuration.
What is it? So for my ignorance, what's abjugation?
Abjuration magic is the weird one.
Kind of like
It's
protective stuff.
It is like wards and shields and
Okay.
stuff like that.
Okay, so from have you shared this nugget of information with everyone?
Well, someone's cast something somewhere. Someone's protecting something. So either it's illusion, abjuration. No, that's illusory, isn't it?
It's illusion.
Clever that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well done, Andy.
Create magical barriers, negate harmful effects, harm trespassers, or banish creatures to other planes of existence. I feel we fit under one category there.
Yes. I suspect someone's cast something on themselves.
Okay.
But in this room.
Or within 30 feet of you.
Well, no, it's just that Steve said it was in the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't sense. You can sense that there's some abjuration magic within the range of your spell. That's about all you can
Okay.
get.
All right. Okay. Fine. In that case, it's probably through the door.
Well, shall we have a peek?
Yes. Barge it open.
So you're gonna budge it open.
Yeah.
No, well, actually, yeah. Fuck it. Why not? Kick it open.
Nah,
Okay.
Because that went so well last time.
I was going to be ginger, but crack on, mate. Go for it.
I'm feeling confident. Well,
Okay.
presumably I can get my detect magic can get through the door because it's only made of wood.
At the very last moment, Arrakis' brain suddenly realizes what abjuration spells can do. Probably too late, as he activates the glyph of warding on the door.
God damn it.
Oh, shit balls. So are we fired backwards or something?
There is a blast of fire damage from the door
Fuck.
for a radius of 20 feet.
Fuck's sake.
Everyone within that range takes 29 hit points of
That
damage.
That's literally the entire room, by the way.
Actually, I only take 15 because I'm resistant to fire, so that's all right.
29.
No
Well-
save.
You get a saving throw.
Ooh,
All right, okay.
Dex or Calm or
Dexterity saving throw.
oh, great.
Thank God for that.
You take half damage on the dex save.
Oh, thank
Of what?
14.
Well, I'm taking half damage anyway.
So this is Imnek. No, and this is Harvey. No,
Okay, so I've taken. Is it?
Is it
It's halved and rounded up.
14, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's rounded up.
Yeah. So okay.
So
I don't-
It's 15.
15.
Ow! Sorry, boys. Should have realised.
so Imnek is looking close to death at that blast.
Shit.
Can
Imnek.
we take a short rest?
I was going to say, perhaps you want to sit this one out.
And Harvey is also looking close to death.
Scoff down a ham and get yourself some hit points.
So I'm not looking at maze balls, but I'm probably all right.
Whoops.
Okay.
So they both cast false life on themselves.
Sorry, chaps. My bad.
Bloody tieflings.
We're not all like this, you know.
Right. Well, perhaps we should go a different way.
Well, the glyph of warding's probably worn off now. Is it still there, Steve? Can I still detect it?
It's an explosive rune, so you'd know that once it goes off, it's off.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't go off every time you try and open the door. Then.
I was going to say.
Do I need to do a Constitution save as well? Because that's a concentration spell.
Yes.
Because I've taken damage.
Hex is down.
And so, yes, it's half the damage or DC 10, whichever's higher.
Ooh. So my spell's worn off then. Great. Whichever's higher. Yeah, it's DC 10. Well, I failed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
my
it's
spell-
DC 14. So
My spell's worn off. Bugger. Oops. At least the door's all right now. Open the door.
See thing.
Okay, we shall do that. We shall open the door.
Now that you know we've turned the trap off.
Well, I don't. I'm just doing what I'm told now because I'm sort of picking bits of door out of me.
The old famous spiral staircase. Right.
Well,
we'll not be
don't
going
think
up there.
I don't think it's worth being bloody quiet now, is it?
Well, I suspect someone knows we're here.
Someone, the entire flipping town knows we're here.
It was only a glyph of warding. Don't be so melodramatic.
As I pick more bits of splinter and toss them at him.
Arrakis is just kind of dusting himself off, being massively resistant to this kind of stuff. Well, my vote is not to go upstairs.
No, I think we should crack on upstairs and get the big dude.
What, while we're still standing?
Well,
Easy for you all to say.
Exactly.
I was going to say, what are you doing, Derek? Are you going to have a bit of a half-hour chill out, or?
It's like an hour for a short rest, but I
Yeah,
I
okay.
desperately need it.
I think it's a good idea.
Right. Can we make safe here? Can we like protect our corners? Maybe go and hide in the larder for a bit.
Or maybe just go back
Like,
to like the entryway or something.
hunker down in the larder with some chickens.
Yeah, that's
Sit in a barrel.
You shut the door and hope for the best.
Why not? Let's take a short rest for an hour in the larder, or just like here, or basically in the card room. We can sit at the table, have a
where we
wine,
can
pretend
kinda
to be
keep an eye out for
guards.
windows as well.
Well,
Exactly.
the
Play
reason I was
some cards.
thinking the larder is that we only have to protect one doorway.
The fuck am I here?
Yeah, but we want to see if there's anyone coming from the outside.
Ah, okay.
1d8 plus 2. It's
All right,
probably
we can just pretend to be guards if anyone asks.
Right. So now short rest. This is where I can roll a dice, isn't it?
It is. You can roll your hit dice, as many hit dice as you like,
Uh-huh.
but after a long rest, you only get back up to half of the number of dice you have.
So it takes three. Potentially takes. Yeah, it takes more than one long rest to get back. Yeah.
For all of your hit dice, you'll need 2 long rests.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. Oh, bloomin' heck! Really? Oh! Can I
Oh, it's
reroll
20
once?
you roll. On a D.
No, it's only a D20 you can reroll.
Ah, balls.
Lol.
Okay, well, might as well roll another one anyway. 2, 5. That gives me 5 hit points. I'll fucking do it.
I'll take that. That's 8 points.
I'll roll.
Close enough.
For God's sake. Okay.
Right then. Raring to go, are we, boys?
Are you looking at Imnek?
Far from done.
You're just going to spunk all your hit dice now?
I don't have much of a choice.
Yeah.
Or I can toss you a healing potion if that helps any.
I've got a spare one still.
Okay.
Yeah, I might as well use the last one. It's not great, but as we're likely to run into more trouble.
You watch this. After all of this now, there'll be like nobody here.
I don't get that feeling from this bloody fun house
cast
he's
false light.
created for us.
Arrakis is suspicious.
Suspicious.
Suspicious. Oh,
He's just run into 2 of his own, similar kin.
and an exploding door.
That was mostly his fault, but, I'll take that one.
Right.
A massive lapse in concentration. Let's put it that way.
So
Slight administrative oversight. But the fact that there were 2 Cambions here, that suggests we are dealing with powers. Not just regular magic.
For reference, Steve Harvey is on 5 normal regular hit points.
Okay.
Does he have his false life as well?
But he has 5 regular because he can't get them back.
Right. I think we might have to call it a night there
Okie doke.
because it's 10 o'clock, and I just have a feeling that
We're gonna
exploring
fuck
the
it
rest
up.
of this tower
So
might
that's
take a
another-
little
that's another
longer than
session.
5 or 10 minutes. Yes.
Mm.
So if you're happy to call it there, we shall call it there.
Indeed.
Sounds like a good place.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
No worries.
That was good. Bit of RPing.
How is the dynamic lighting working?
It's really cool.
I like
Mhm.
it.
Takes a bit of getting used to, but it's really cool.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
slows things down a little bit. I can feel it chugging away at this end
Mm.
when I'm trying to do stuff, and it's a bit. It just takes a little bit, quite a bit of setting up. I must
Yeah.
admit, but it's gonna get quicker. But
I've
I'm intrigued
noticed.
to know how well it works.
I've noticed the ping is quicker. I don't know if roll 20s have changed
Yes.
something, but getting a ping is much quicker now.
Oh,
You have to
yeah.
hold it down. You don't have to hold it down for a week.
The only thing I find with the dynamic lighting is it's taking getting used to not seeing where everyone is.
Yeah.
That's
Which
quite,
is
Right.
good.
it's good because we have to explain more of what's happened or
Mm.
what
Yeah.
we've seen. But
It's a good
it is quite a bit of
I've,
adjustment.
I've still got some settings to change with it because some of them will allow, like for instance, if one of you's carrying a light, I can make it so everyone else can see their light.
Oh,
Right.
wow. Okay.
So, for instance, like the other party, I think I've set it up right though. So the two people who have to carry torches, there's 2 with dark vision and 2 who have to carry torches. So the 2 carrying torches, everyone can see them,
Right.
provided they're in line of sight. But then we can't see the ones with dark vision because they're just walking around. I can see. I don't need a light. You know.
Oh, wow.
So
I
I
would-
think there's still some tweaking to do on it, but
Mm.
it's a bit of a play.
How it
I like-
dancing,
I like the Windows thing.
Yes.
Looking in the windows was a cool.
Yeah. I
That's
don't know
quite
how
cool.
dancing lights is going to work there because I don't know how to add all the light sources.
Yeah.
Yet I need to look into that because there's obviously going to be ways in which you can throw a light source forward, but I don't know how to do that. I think I'll have to make tokens for them,
Mm.
Yeah.
like because you could throw a torch into a room as well. So
It's a bugger to manage on the stream, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. So, Zanhorn has got a sneak peek of the Masters of Fate.
Yeah.
Fucking it up.
That's
Oh,
probably
I
it.
wouldn't go that far.
He was there not just in spirit, but in luck. Well played, gentlemen.
Why, thank you.
there you go.
We do try.
Yep. So,
Played, gentlemen.
so the Masters of Fate will be back in 2 weeks, and the Champions of Chance will, of course, be back in 1 week for some more heroic actions. And by heroic, I mean maybe they'll live.
Maybe.
I'm not here in 2 weeks.
Ooh.
Well, maybe we'll work some stuff around that then.
Yeah, can we reorder it maybe or something?
I'm sure we can work something out. One way or another, I'm sure there will be another D&D session next Thursday.
Yes.
So
Sure there will be.
if you've watched us this evening and you've enjoyed it, check back in with us in a week and there'll be time for some more action then. Until then, catch you later, folks.
Yeah.
Good night.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
Oh, find the outro.
Are we clear?